Joining me now is former Manhattan prosecutor Jeremy Saland. And counselor, again, we are waiting to see if Giuliani takes the stand. We'll know in a few minutes if he does so. Can I take a step back here and can you explain to me, in a defamation case like this, particularly one where he has already been found to have defamed the plaintiffs here, what is a jury determining? What do they have to find? How does it work?
Well, they don't have to determine the defamation, whether it happened or not. We know that's already there. This is about the damages. But did he make these untruthful, malicious statements, and he knowingly made them and ultimately damaged them and hurt them? So we have these two elements, if you will, at this point already resolved, meaning that there were these statements, the judge has already said that there were these wrongful accusations, that they cheated and took these ballots and recounted them. And now, what does it mean? How badly were they hurt? What is that worth? That's what we're deciding now.
Now, as he takes the stand, how can he help himself?
I would be more fearful if I was his attorney that he will hurt himself. Remember, we have a RICO case in that same state of Georgia that have very similar elements of election fraud. So if he goes out there and he's already been told by the judge, you're not allowed to protest this, there's already been a finding in terms of what actually happened. If he goes out there and testifies inconsistently, there is a risk that could impact his RICO case. I don't know whether he actually will testify. I would not be shocked if he backed himself out, like Trump has.
Let me show you something that Giuliani said this week, even after the trial started, after the first day. Let's listen to this.
Of course I don't regret it. I told the truth. They were engaged in changing votes. There's no proof of that. Oh, you're damn right there is. Stay tuned.
You're damn right there is. Forgive me here. It seems as if Giuliani wants to say he ordered the code red, right? And he was admonished for those statements from this judge.
Absolutely. He goes outside the courtroom a la Trump, says these things, and let's see if he says it in the courtroom. And he shouldn't be saying that in the courtroom. And that's not going to work well for him, because the issue is not whether he said it and whether he did it, although what his defense is arguing is what's the nexus, what's the connection. We heard about postings on the internet, we heard about how many times these things were viewed, but what's that nexus and connection? So there could be some argument there, but he has to run a tightrope here and be careful.
Now, he is a defense witness. If you are the plaintiff's attorneys on cross, what do you try to do to Giuliani?
You try to get him flustered. You try to get him to make admissions. And he is such a hot person, sort of like Donald Trump, that it's not inconceivable that he will make that mistake and he will say something that will damn him, both in this civil case, and it's not their job to help the criminal case, but there as well, to make admissions as to what he said and did. If he goes out there and says, I'm telling the truth, these people committed frauds, that's just going to blow up on his face.
I want to shift gears here and talk briefly about Donald Trump and the federal election case against him. Judge Tanya Chutkan has put it on pause while the immunity issue, whether Donald Trump gets some kind of presidential immunity, goes through the system. But an even perhaps more consequential thing happened yesterday was the Supreme Court stepped in and said it's going to hear a case about whether the obstruction of Congress charge can be used against really any January 6th defendants. How much does this muck up the federal case against Donald Trump?
Well, you know, what can happen now, it can be delayed because ultimately if the Supreme Court decides to hear this case and hear this appeal, and mind you, Trump's attorneys have the ability to challenge that if they want to and stay in the circuit, that it's going to delay this case. It's going to muck it up in the sense that it could push it past March 4th. So it's very reasonable that if this gets delayed too long, that we may not see a trial before the election.
All right, Jeremy Saland, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.